What Happened This Week podcast. Just two best friends chatting in the trailer about all the things you are thinking about. Because you never know with Kim and Tricia.
Straight out of the trailer. Hey guys, so this week we're back in our original studio and not our temporary studio.
And it is Sober Sunday.
It is Sober Sunday. Yes. Quite a show last week.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
So now I know typically you listen to the show on the drive when I load it up because you listen to the raw recording so that you can do the blog.
Right.
Did you listen to the one that I actually published?
Yes.
Okay.
I listened to your
Did you
disclaimer.
hear my disclaimer? Okay.
Yes.
That was like a little surprise for you because I was listening. I was like dying. Usually I do listen for edits, but I look at, I want it to be real.
Right.
So when I load it up in Audacity, I look at the volume and I look at low points and I'll go in there and spaces and cut that out. But I don't listen to the whole thing. So I'm like, you know what, we're just going to roll with it, right? But I'm like,
you better listen.
I gotta listen to this one because that started off, and I'm like, oh, you could already tell.
I was sloppy to begin with.
Oh, I told James, I'm like, you gotta listen to this. I was like, so we sat on Wednesday and listened to it, and that's when I put the disclaimer out there. I died.
It was amazing.
It was.
It's funny because for me, I've come a long way. My personality is not somebody who typically this mortifies me. Okay, that this And I've got something I laughed at it. I wasn't like, Kim, we got to re-record this or anything like that.
I probably would say you're right. Probably 5 years ago, you would have been like, we're not putting that out there for the world. No. But now you're like, all right, I don't care. 3 kids later, I'm 40 years old. This is a good time. And we're putting our life out there anyway.
And everyone's been that way. So I will say, being pregnant for so long, I experienced all of you that way, right?
Right.
It was not recorded and documented and put out there to the world. However, no, we did have one good one with you.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
Which one was that?
We did it on Zoom, Zoom one. You were drunk.
Oh my gosh! Yes, that's right. That's right.
So we got one with James.
We got one with James.
So,
we did. That's right. That's right.
So that's been recorded. But I told Jason's that must have been you were how all of us were all those times when we would go out. And I was like, oh no. That time we went to that barbecue, all of you were much, much worse. I can let you know, I can listen to myself there and know that all of you were much worse when I drove you home.
Right, and you were contained in an environment that was just a one-off, it was just us, you know what I mean? And you kind of you knew how it was going to go down. Because you had started earlier, well, not really early, but when you came over, you're I'm drinking my beer and I'm switching to wine.
Exactly.
You knew, you had a game plan. I was
that wine, man,
roll.
that wine, woo.
I was like, how did she get so... And I was drinking the hard stuff. I was drinking Tito's, and Tito's would get me quick if I howled, depending on how much I poured. And I'm like, how is she getting this drunk? I'm just sitting here how am I keeping it together? And she's going downhill.
Well,
I'm I don't get this.
My intermittent fasting.
That's right, not eating.
It's not well when you start drinking earlier.
No.
So I hadn't eaten anything all day until I ate those kebabs at your house.
Okay.
But I didn't eat that much.
No.
And then it wasn't a whole lot of substance because it was just meat and vegetables and then a little bit of pasta salad I had. And I had a whole bottle of wine.
Well, that's why I did the disclaimer because as I knew what the environment was at the time.
Yeah.
But at one point I think I cracked open or somebody cracked open a beer.
No, you said, hold on, I got to get a beer with this. And I was like, oh my God, this is even
that
better.
was just so classic because it just went with it. But I thought people need to know what's going on here because it wasn't we said cheers. We just went because we had been drinking and we just let's record. And there was, you know what, it would not have happened at a better time. It was a good time. It definitely was hilarious.
Yeah, I needed it. I truly needed it. Not yes, I've had a drink here or there since having the baby, but this was your
game time.
Yeah, you know how you get that way maybe 2-3 times a year.
Maybe every other weekend for me, but go on. I hear you.
That was my time.
That was your time. Well, I definitely had to help you to walk you to the car.
Yes.
That was interesting because I fell down that same step, so I was holding you up because I had to make sure. But I was as I was walking you, holding your hand to the car, I'm like, how did you get so drunk in the camper? How did this happen? And it was all before 9.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh. And so I'm glad you threw up. You said you threw up, right? So because I was worried about you the next day. I was going to text you, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to remind her of what she did last night, so I just kind of waited to hear from you.
I felt great the next day. I got it all out, I guess, and then I drank a bunch of water and then a liquid IV.
Okay.
In the middle of the
night. A liquid IV?
Yeah.
What's that?
So it's this powder that you add to water and it 4 times your hydration.
Oh, really? Is it like Pedialyte?
It's similar to like Pedialyte.
Okay.
So we buy it on Amazon and it gets auto shipped to our house every other week now, like a whole package of them.
Okay.
But they work really, really well.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'll have to order those. Definitely. Because I'm having problems with Charlie horses, and I think it has a lot to do with dehydration.
Yeah, order them.
Because I'm drinking too much, and then I'm getting dehydrated. But I like to just think that, it's because of the Charlie horses. But
we used to get them once a month, but with this building of the house, we did them more because Jason and his dad take them, and we did not have them. We were we're waiting on our supply to come in the day they poured that slab.
Okay.
And that's when my sister and I had to run to the store and get Pedialytes for Jason because he was just all seized up.
Yeah, I definitely have to try that out then. Yeah, I'll have to get it from you before I leave. Interesting.
So,
Well, I have to say that, let's see, was it Wednesday night? We started off listening to the podcast, and we just kind of sat on the porch and went downhill. So it's 8 o'clock at night. We're just chilling on the patio, and all of a sudden, this guy comes walking up to us. It's dark at this point.
God.
He goes, "Hey, do you know the password to the Wi-Fi?" I'm like, "Okay." I had to think, my Wi-Fi? Oh, the RV park has Wi-Fi. It's very, spotty.
Right.
And it's not something it's reliable. And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And I gave him
Was he homeless?
No, he's actually across the street.
Okay.
So there's this camper there. It's a nicer camper. He's never there. So come to find out, he sat down, had a few beers, and now we're all friends. And I don't know, I had to throw up because I drank too much, and I threw up. I felt better. But, so come to find out, I took a picture of him and sent it to my sister because I was trying to hook up my sister with him.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I didn't know this, but you can actually, when you take a photo, at least through an iPhone, do you know what a live photo means?
Well, it moves.
It actually does a little recording.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So I showed Taylor. I was like, "Oh, look at our neighbor." She's like, "Mom, it's a live photo, and you actually have." She's like, "You took a picture of him?" I'm like, straight up, I took a picture of him, flash and all, and you can hear him talking. And I sent it to my sister, and I said, "Hey, I found you a new boo." He works in the power plant outages. He's like a heavy machine operator.
Okay.
The wife got the house. He got the camper. 3 kids. So I was like, "Oh, great."
They'd have 6 kids.
They can have. It's like a blended family. They the
Brady
Brady
Bunch.
Bunch. So I sent her a picture. "Who is that?" I'm like, "It's your next boo. His name is Big Ryan." She's like, "Really?" Coming out of the trailer hood. I said, "It's temporary. We're all here temporary, Kelly. Yeah. Don't judge." So anyways, that was funny. So I, broke one off on a Wednesday night, which is I went back to Wednesday night weakness.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we went to the Shake Shack.
Uh-huh.
Really disappointed.
Okay.
So they opened up one in Palm Beach Gardens in the mall. And I think Jason had said they're pretty famous, up north.
Yeah, in the city.
I don't see it. First of all, they have a kiosk, which is cool. They don't have to talk to humans, right? So that was right up,
Your family alley.
Exactly. So I kind of do a kiosk because then you can order whatever.
Yeah.
So they only have burgers, chicken sandwich, a flat top hot dog, fries, and
flat
shakes.
top hot dog,
But they cut it in half, and they put it on the flat top. And it's in shakes. I mean, I'm not really overly impressed. But
they didn't have a salad or anything?
No salads.
Oh, man.
No salads.
They should at least make it a burger salad or something.
So, they had a mushroom, a portobello mushrooms burger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was their version of being vegan or vegetable, maybe.
Right, but at least if you had you could low carb it.
Well, that's what I was. Well, I went into it with that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but they didn't have that, so I got a burger. I wanted cheese fries. I get no cheese on my fries, and I paid for it. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna write them a nasty review. Okay?
Are you?
No, I'm not. I just
Okay.
don't have the energy. But I wanted my cheese fries, but it's probably a sign because I'm lactose intolerant. I probably shouldn't have had cheese at the mall. And then I did not get the Shack sauce on the side of my burger, so I was a little upset. They were packed though. That place, everybody was sitting there waiting, so there might have been, for that. And every court, of course, there's the food court's spaced out,
right?
With social distancing,
right?
But going to the mall, it was just a completely different experience.
But what's crazy though? You ordered on a kiosk. That order should never be wrong,
ever, because it's printed out. It was taped to my bag.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, the burger was a greasy burger. So it was no different than a Five Guys burger.
Right.
I just, Taylor's like, their pickles are great. I'm like, I'm not driving to Palm Beach Gardens again to eat pickles.
No,
I'll go buy a jar.
You go get that water you stood in line for that time.
Or that venti water. So that was a joke. So then we walked around. A lot of the stores are closed. They're doing temperature checks. We didn't walk in any stores. Just kind of walked around. It was kind of weird. A lot of stores are gone. It's just so different. different mentality. It's like, I heard on the radio that they're going to actually, and I think I've talked to you about this before, they're actually thinking about turning a lot of these malls into retirement communities.
Yes, well, I read on the news, I saw on the news, Simon is in talks to turn their JCPenney's and their Sears stores that are closed into Amazon distribution centers.
So crazy enough, there was a sign up at one of, they put those partition things. One of the stores, I want to say it's downstairs by Bloomingdale's. It said coming soon, Amazon 2, like the number 2. So I didn't look it up, but I'm going to look it up. So that must be maybe like a pickup center,
probably,
right? Or a distribution center. That makes sense. I mean, those older people, if you ever go to the mall really early, they're walking the mall.
They're walkers.
They're walkers, so it's kind of like they can go and do, whatever they want. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they said that and Simon owns the Gardens Mall and owns the Treasure Coast Mall. So turning them into, those spaces are available, so that same-day ship would be an option in a lot of places.
Okay, very cool. I know that yesterday I was on, the famous group that we have locally. Yes. And someone posted in there that the Treasure Coast Mall's AC went out for the entire mall.
Ooh.
So we were going to go to the Treasure Coast. We thought about going to a mall, but then the Shake Shack came. So thank God, because I don't know about walking the mall with no AC.
Well, you would have left.
That mall I think, has just kind of gone downhill, though.
It's too bad.
It's not the same.
It's too bad. Like, it's close. You know.
Yeah. I remember when it first opened, because you know why?
Why?
I was Pinky Boo, the clown, at the grand opening.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. So it opened around Halloween time. I'll never forget it. It opened around Halloween. I was living with my grandmother at the time. And I must have been, let's see, it must have been 6th, 5th grade, somewhere in that time frame.
Okay.
And my grandmother had a friend who was a clown. Yeah, she had a clown business. So, I was Pinky Boo for about 6 months. I did face painting and balloon animals. And I remember getting hired to go in there and do that.
So Reagan's 3rd birthday is coming up. You're gonna be the.
I'm retired.
You retired.
I retired. I don't know if I can make a mean sword.
Okay.
And a poodle. I think that's all I got. If they come up with any other requests, I'm gonna have to defer. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had to make a balloon animal. And face painting, I think I could do a heart. Like that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. I can't
She wouldn't know any different.
No, I think the parents would.
Yeah.
I'm like, I brought my kid. What is this? Kimmy's over there.
Well, it's
Pinky
a quarantine birthday party, so the only kids would be our kids.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to. I'll hire the clown, and I'll critique them.
Yes.
I'm just not. I don't think it's been quite some time since I've come out of retirement. I don't know. I got to think about that.
Yeah, I don't go to the mall. I go to stores. Like I might go to Target or and honestly, no. I think I order everything online.
I know. What's really the way to go? I mean, if you think about it, I think that's really what everyone's doing because it's just easy.
Yeah, Nordstrom having their anniversary sale. And as a Nordstrom card holder, and I'm an influencer status.
Oh,
I got
I
got availability on last Monday to shop.
Ooh.
Yes, I had a bunch of stuff on my wish list, but I had to tame it down.
I bet.
I don't bankrupt my family on my Nordstrom sale because I got to get the sale, not because I need it.
Right, exactly.
So we did. I think Jason ended up with 3 pairs of shoes, though.
That's how it always is.
Yeah, and Reagan didn't get anything. Grady got a couple outfits. I got a pair. I ordered the shoes on Monday, and I got my shoes delivered Tuesday. I couldn't believe it. They must have come out of the Gardens, but they were girl shoes. You can convert women's sizes to girls.
Oh yeah, and they're cheaper.
Oh my God! So these sneakers, they're super cute Adidas, and they were $39 on the sale for the girls. Yeah.
I used to do it with boots for cowboy boots when I was in high school because the boys were cheaper than the girls, and I would convert same thing.
There you go. Yeah, that was something that I learned. And you can, even bigger feet. The girls they still work.
Oh yeah.
I've bought in the little boys department at Nordstrom because their boys department kids goes up to big kids, which goes up to 18 or 20, but their girls department only goes up to 13 or 14, which is really weird. I guess because they know that girls spend more money on clothes, and they're just ready to go. The teenagers ready to go to the big kids section or whatever, the adult section. So I bought boys sweatshirts.
Okay.
Patagonia sweatshirt or a Vineyard Vine sweatshirt.
Right.
I bought it at the boys department.
Okay. That's really smart. And you get it cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, I almost pulled a trigger on a Louis Vuitton yesterday.
Did you?
But the problem is, I don't go shopping. I'm not a shopper. Taylor's like, you don't like to shop. I'm like, I'm really not. I've never been a shopper because I'm an impulsive shopper. Because once I go shopping, I'll drop $100,000, not $100,000, but $1,000 easy, or I'll just like start buying stuff. So I was like, let's go into Louis Vuitton. Of course, you gotta wait in line in that store, and we were like 5 people back. And I was like, this is a sign. I don't need to sit here and wait to go walk into Louis Vuitton and buy anything. So I didn't. I don't know what I would buy anyways. You know, I don't. I mean, I have my dream purses. I know, but no.
There's a Gucci bag that I want. That's on my list. So, yeah.
Well, I will tell you. So we were sitting there watching people walk out of Louis Vuitton, and this woman walked out, and she looked fabulous. She must have been early 20s. The old man was probably 80. She had 2 arms full of Louis Vuitton bags, and she came out and she was like hugging and kissing all over him. I'm like, what is wrong with this picture? That's a sugar daddy. I'm like, you know what?
You just mad you don't have one.
I know. I said, oh my God, you see that? I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. But yeah, so that was interesting to watch that.
Yeah, there's this Gucci bag that I want, and you know, it's like $1,500 or
That's
whatever.
it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a life insurance policy, as I tell James.
It's not terrible. It's just not something I'm ready to pull the trigger on yet.
Yeah.
I think I need to. The biggest thing is that I need to go through all of my stuff. I don't even know what I have anymore.
Right.
So once we get into the house and my closet is done and I can see what I have, and then I can purge and things that I don't need.
And you can take them to Style Encore. If they're in somewhat good condition, they will take designer bags. So if you have bags that you don't use, you can always, you get money for them, and then you can, do that. Do you know that Belle's has Louis Vuittons and Gucci?
Yeah, I think they're
not knockoffs. They're the real McCoy, and they're like probably last year's model.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're
locked up.
They are with a string, you have to have the sales associate. Like they're on display. You can touch them, but they have that string there. So they had they have small. They have the crossbodies, the Gucci's, the Louis Vuittons, and I don't want to say Marc Jacobs. They had something else. Somebody told me that a couple months ago.
I think I saw it on the group.
Yes.
Like the
you
group
might have
on Facebook.
Okay. It was somebody told me this like 6 months ago, and I was like, no way. And I sure enough.
I'll have to go look. Maybe they got my Gucci bag there.
But they're like full price. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go buy a Louis bag. I'm not buying at Belle's. Exactly. I'm gonna go to. I want them to come around the cash register and my bag and hug me or whatever they do. I want the pretty paper.
That's how I felt when I bought my Jimmy Choos for the wedding.
Exactly.
Like, I want this experience, and I buy these shoes.
That's right.
Here, Mrs. Cooper, can I get you a drink? Did you need anything?
Right, exactly. Yes. Get me. I want some water with some cucumber. You know.
Do you have any more of these half price shoes? That's what I want.
Yeah. They're not doing that at Belle's.
No.
No.
All right.
No. And you can't buy them with Belle's bucks either. I tried.
Oh.
I'm not tried. I asked.
Oh, really? They're excluded from, like, Belle's bucks?
They're excluded from because they're designer or whatever. Because, if you rack up enough Belle's bucks,
exactly.
Not that I go often, but when I do, I did turn Taylor on to Belle's because when she was trying to find some clothes for, this conference she went, she's like, I didn't realize Belle's had so many nice clothes. I thought it was all for old people. I'm like, don't you be shutting down Belle's like that.
They have a really nice young women's department in there. I used to always go there because they have, a lot of, the Roxy, Quicksilver, all that stuff. That's what they carry. And so when I needed, shorts,
right,
that's where I would go because that's where I would buy them, or bathing suits or stuff like that. They have a really nice young women's department.
Oh yeah,
in there.
I mean you can just find anything for anyone there, for Guy Harvey shirts, even their home decor stuff's pretty cool.
They always have good Florida State stuff, collegiate stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I bought a Tommy Bahama quilt that I've had for 5 years, and I was waiting for it to go on sale. Then I used my Belle's bucks, but they even have Tommy Bahama stuff. So I mean, it's good quality stuff, and they're still open. I haven't been in there, but at Cove Road, I was by Cove Road the other day, and I saw that they're open. So I didn't know if they had gotten shut down too.
I'm not sure. I went to TJ Maxx the other day. I hadn't been there.
Yeah.
And I went in there. I was like, I don't know why I shop anywhere else. I'm in there, right? And I needed. I had just bought Reagan new Crocs because they're just easy for her to wear, right?
Right.
Just slips them on, whatever. And finally broke out and bought a new pair, $30. Walking through TJ Maxx and kids department, they had this. Not only did they have Crocs in there, they had the exact color pair I bought. Instead of $30, $12.99.
Oh yeah.
So I bought the next size up.
Oh yeah.
So I don't get stuck.
When Taylor was younger, Justice was a thing.
Yeah.
That store. They had Justice.
They still do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had started carrying, and this is probably probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I realized then, I'm like, wow, their kids section is actually important. Their toys, too.
Yep.
Like, sometimes they're like last year's models, but they're still good toys.
No, while I was there, I was going through the toys, right? And I saw they had a Frozen bicycle from the movie. And Reagan's birthday's coming up, and she needs a big girl bike with training wheels because she has like a balance bike, and she just is too tall for it still. So I sent the picture to Jason. He's like, well, how much is it? I was like, it was like $89 or something. He's like, oh, I thought it'd be cheaper than that. As I'm talking to him, he's at work. He's Googling it. That bike on Amazon is $200. So we went back and bought it for her birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So, and dog toys. I buy dog toys there, too.
They do have good dog toys.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought a new bag for work there. I went to the one in Vero. Because I had... I needed a bag because my other bag was getting dog hair on it, and I'm just coming to the place that I'm going to have dog hair. You should see my Jeep right now. Oh my God, it's bad. It is awful. So I went into TJ Maxx in Vero and bought me a new Kate Spade bag. I wanted a bag, a big enough bag, and I needed something with a material that, not like leather,
right?
But something
like a vinyl-y, like
something that can be wiped and something that dog hair won't stick to, because the way I transport my bag with all of my laptop and everything, it's not really classy when you're having a business meeting and you got dog hair on it. So I kind of like started. I'm like, I'm gonna go to TJ Maxx and just see what they had, and sure enough, I mean, I got it it was on clearance. I got it for like $50. And I mean, originally, I guess it was maybe 120, but it's a big size, nice bag. So, and it came with a little carrying thing. So TJ Maxx, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't.
You can find some good deals there.
I know. I hadn't been in a while. I was looking too for underwear for Jason, because men's underwear are expensive.
They are. Well, James don't wear them, but they can be. I know.
Well, then I'll send it for you then.
Yes, checked it. But I did have to buy him shoelaces yesterday. I had to buy him shoelaces because his boot shoelaces were shot. So I had another experience, because I never have just a normal week, right?
No.
Okay. Thursday. So I'm already a little from Wednesday night, but I'm feeling all right, whatever. So Thursday, it's like 10 o'clock, and the AC it stops. When an AC stops in a camper, it stops.
Yeah, remember it stopped when we were filming?
Yes. So I said, Taylor, turn yours on. She's like, mine's not on either, Mom.
Oh, God.
I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm sweating. I'm sweating just thinking about it, And I walk outside, and apparently the neighbors next to me, who have left, they left yesterday.
Oh, the ones that go to the hunting place?
Yeah.
Aww.
She said bye. I didn't know what she meant by bye. But they left. He comes out and he says, do you have any power? I said, you know what? I said, my lights are on power, but they're all running on the battery. So eventually they'll go out.
Oh, okay.
I said, well, my AC's not working. He said, yeah, because his is down. Apparently somebody hit a pole.
Oh.
On US 1, which caused my entire row. We had to go find the lot lord, and he's like, well, I'll call Lyft P&L. I'm like, could you do it now?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, I'm over here sweating. So now I had to flip the script. So then I had to change my day, and I told Taylor sometimes things happen, right? And so you don't plan for them. So I go drive her to her dad's. Then I had to load up the dogs and go to my sister's. My Jeep is full of dog hair.
Okay, that's
why.
And
I'm like, you know what? But the positive side of this is I'm going to take my clothes and I'm going to wash them. So
your laundry's done.
My laundry's done. And so I had all the dogs, at Kelly's house. And then I didn't even know if I had power. So I got done about 5, and I went home and we had power. And then I just went to the liquor store and bought another bottle. Because I was like, it had been a hell of a day.
Are you still drinking the Monkey?
The Monkey is not sold locally at my liquor store. So there is a liquor store on Cove that has it. Mm-hmm. So if I'm passing through, I'll pick that up there.
Gotcha.
But I have reached out to Monkey, so hopefully we can we'll find out if we get any details from Monkey.
Exactly.
I just want to say I have Monkey. And the other big announcement is Amazon.
Yes.
So Amazon is adding podcasts to their platform, to their Audible platform, and through their music service. So what it's interesting is that as an Amazon Prime user, you have access to music. It's like another app you have to download.
Right.
And then Audible. James actually has an Audible because he listens to books online. He listens.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I buy him books, and
he's so smart.
I know. Well, he just likes he'll finish a whole book in one day.
Well, he's in the tracker.
I know. So
he has that
he likes to listen to history, Florida history. So he knows all about Trapper Nelson and how the South, the Everglades.
How productive of him.
Yes, I know.
Like the rest of us are like, let me find a podcast to listen to.
Like a raunchy, dirty podcast, right? Like Dateline, or something like that.
We got murder mystery, murdered everybody on the way home, and James is learning about history.
Exactly. Well, we did have a listener, Tammy. Shout out to Tammy. She tagged me yesterday. She said that there was a thing. A guy, it was like a tweet or something, said, "I hope that when I die, that two girls have a podcast can solve my murder."
Exactly.
And so she's like, "I hope you and Tricia can help us out." I'm like, we've talked about doing crime,
exactly.
so you know what? You never know.
You know, another mention of a listener, like, obviously we get shout-outs from some listeners that are friends,
right.
Whatever. Thank you guys for listening. You probably only we thought you were the only people listening. We had a listener reach out about my arthritis.
Okay.
And this person just had some questions, and so as much as sometimes this is silly to I get to be with you, we get to hang out and have this conversation, I was so glad that something we put out on this platform, somebody had questions I was able to answer and hopefully help them and steer them in a direction to get some help,
right,
and some relief from what they're going through. We were actually doing something for somebody.
I know. Well, it's because it's the realness and it's the rawness, right? We're sharing our lives and what we go through, and especially with you having, the baby and recently with the arthritis, that's something that's real life stuff. Mm-hmm. It doesn't, people can relate to that.
Right.
And that's what we're hoping that people will relate to,
right,
what we've got going on.
So, it just
that
made
was
me
super
feel
cool.
it made me feel like I'm leaving a different place in this world for, me, because sometimes I start to think, what am I doing this for? What am I leaving behind?
Right,
I know my children. And
that means you have to drink more on a podcast.
That's
because apparently
they like me better.
Well, you were just you're full of more information regarding your arthritis. It's just because what what had happened for that week. So
no, and the arthritis is still there. It's still rocking it. It's getting better.
Okay.
It has made this this whole weight loss journey's been a little different because I can't work out.
Right.
So that's hard. When you can't work out, so it's only based on food. So my weigh-in this morning. 145.
Awesome.
I'm down 7.5 pounds since we started.
I don't want to talk about mine.
Well,
I'm an emotional eater.
You went to the Burger Shack or whatever.
The Shake Shack. Shake Shack. Whatever shack.
I did get your cheese fries.
I did get my cheese fries. That was a sign. I got pizza Friday because we do pizza every Friday night.
Yeah.
I'm an emotional eater. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to get back on to get my refill of my narcotics. So I know I'm going to weigh in then, and I'm pretty sure that there's been no change from a month ago.
You need to.
And so she might be questioning if I'm taking these. Yes.
You should do an 80-20 rule or a 70-30, whatever works for you. That way you still get that outlet with food, because some people need that. It is
true. And I've been going out in the field a little bit more here and there, 3 days a week, and so I find myself stopping, and so if I'm hungry, I'm an emotional eater and I'm a stress eater. So but I also eat bad. I don't, I'll go to McDonald's, I got 2 for $3,
exactly.
the double, and a Coke, which is so crazy that I do that.
Right.
And then I try to think sometimes, what's healthy? What could I eat that's healthy? Panera has, this yogurt parfait thing.
Right.
So, I have to mentally prepare. The problem is, with all my stomach problems that I have, I should really be eating clean. Yeah. I mean, when I do eat clean, I'm not bloated. I'm not, the IBS is out of control. And yesterday, even though I ate at the Shake Shack, this burger that was full of grease, I paid for it for 2 hours afterwards because I couldn't do anything because I was on the toilet. Being on the toilet in a camper sucks.
No,
exactly. That's why I wouldn't stop at yours, just so I could actually have a real bathroom, So I really am, I'm punishing myself, or I'm doing disservice to myself. So today I'm going to refresh, reboot. I'm going to get some chicken. And if I just stick with chicken, as silly as that sounds, just chicken and salad, done.
And so be it. It's easy. As long as you prep for it, you should be good.
So, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get some chicken on the grill, and I'm going to prep for it. So that should be interesting. I'm going to grill by myself, and so, do the charcoal and all of that. So hopefully I won't blow up the camper.
Yeah. We're having lamb chops for lunch today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever made lamb chops.
Jason's made them once, but we had gone to Publix a few weeks ago, and they were BOGO.
Okay.
And so it was they're expensive. It's $50.
Yeah.
But then it was BOGO.
Right.
So we got $100 worth of meat for $50.
I wish I had a place to store that stuff.
I know.
That's what I also something that Taylor and I are doing. So, Elevate Hope, which is a local community charity in Salerno.
Yes.
So they did a call out because they really help a lot of the homeless and things like that. And so they have a pantry. So yesterday, Taylor, when we went to Walmart, I bought like all this stuff for their pantries, and I'm going to go to the dollar store today, and so tomorrow we're going to deliver, you know, some baskets. So that's kind of a, you know, it's a feel good thing to do.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's something that I felt led to do. It's important, you know. I feel it's a local thing that they do, and I mean, it's not, you know, it's pennies considering, you know, what other people are going through.
Right.
So
exactly.
I'll be delivering that tomorrow, so that's something that's good. So I'm just trying to like change, like refocus a little bit.
Yeah.
Quit drinking as much.
Well, I mean, I think that life in the trailer has been taxing on you, and I think that it's changed mentally, a lot of things mentally for you. I can see it as far as like it's draining.
It's very draining.
So it's
very draining.
Because it's so draining, it's like, and then you have work, and so it's like work is all you can give right now because life has drained you over here, and so the only you got to go to work, you know, and so the only thing you have the energy for at this point is work.
And I thought before moving into the camper, you know what I thought? I thought I would live the life like my Hall Pass. Matthew McConaughey. He lives in an Airstream. I would like to imagine myself living in an Airstream with Matthew McConaughey.
Just close your eyes.
So
James
my
Matthew McConaughey.
My picture was going to be I was going to work out every day. I was going to live this nomad lifestyle and have my bike, and I'm just going to change mentally my surroundings. So I'm just going to be a new person. Opposite. I am like. On Thursday after that AC incident, and the crazy thing is that what if the AC had went and I wasn't there and I was out like in Sebring or Vero Beach and then the dogs were stuck in that and then you come home and that wouldn't have been, I don't know what have happened, what that could have been bad, you know, I mean, because we wouldn't have known and that could happen at any given time. That made me think. My nerves were so shot. James like, let's just go buy a house. I don't care how much it is. I said, bingo, because I mean that was very short lived.
Yeah, he changes his
mind. But he
quickly.
even saw you as like, you're done, aren't you? I'm like, I want to be quiet and just sit here.
Yeah.
Because I emotionally am spent, so I have to take control back over that because the situation is what it is at hand. I mean, I talked to Shannon yesterday, or she messaged me, and I mean, the market is extremely hot. I mean, I think she said she had a place post or a house go on the market, and same day sold cash, full price. So I mean, that's the environment we're in right now, you know. So there's a couple houses that hit the market recently, and James is like, "Oh, it's nice, but let's offer him this." I said, "You can't.
Not right now.
You can't. You got to let it sit."
Price.
So it's in my favorites.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I got a little heart next to it.
Okay.
A little heart. Some of my homes are my favorite, a little out of my range.
But you still like them.
But I still like them. They're like, you know, they're like 800,000. I'm hoping one day they'll get reduced. And the funny thing is when you do that heart thing, you get an email when they have reduced the price. So I'm like, ooh, reduced by 5,000. I'm like, that ain't jack, you know. So there's a couple of houses that you know that are right over that cusp of what we're looking at. So it's just, you're right. It's just it's draining, you know, and it's wearing on me, like the dog hair, and I gotta go home and clean the camper, and you know, it's as much as I want to be out of the camper, I'm a homebody. Yeah. You know, so I really, we can't go anywhere during the COVID time. I mean, even going to the mall, I didn't necessarily want to do that. I just didn't feel comfortable. Right. But I had to get out of the house. Yes. But I don't go places. No. You know, and then
your place where you're at is not where you want to be.
No.
So that sucks. Like if it had maybe been a different time.
Right.
And like you were in the camper, but you guys were still going.
Right.
Then maybe it could have been something that you could do. Or if I had my own house and my own space, you could be coming to hang out more. Like, I mean, not that you can't come here. It's just
different. Right.
You know, and I don't know. I can see it. I mean, like, I know there's been peaks and valleys in the last. We've been here almost 3 years. Peaks and valleys with it. Yeah. You know, 100% grateful that we've been able to do this, but it doesn't mean that it didn't come without some ups and downs, and you know, and Jason being the same thing. Let's sell everything and just go buy a house somewhere. Like, let's forget about building a house or whatever, you know. And I'm sure Jason's parents have gone through it, and you know, with us being here.
Yeah, and you're right. It does. It happens. You know, it's kind of like, you know, not to complain, but it's what I signed up for, right? Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, I just didn't know, like, I didn't thoroughly think it out because I hadn't experienced it yet. And now that I am experiencing it, it's like, you know what? I'm just like, it's just nerve wracking. So
how long has it been?
It's been, let's see, it'll be, July we moved in July 15th. So July 15th to August 15th. Was it July or was it June?
No,
I think it was June.
It was June.
It was June. So we're talking 2 months.
Okay.
2 months, I think, actually, today. What is today? Today's the 16th, so 2 months yesterday.
Okay.
Which, I mean, 2 months, you can do anything for 2 months, right? Suck it up, Buttercup.
But still, it's still a long time, you know, and you guys got to come up with a game plan.
I told James, I said, you better go check that propane because one of the tanks, because we have 2 tanks, and one was empty. And he said, let me go check the other one. I said, if I wake up and I have no hot water to take a shower,
oh God,
I'm going to lose it. Like,
exactly.
that's it.
Like, that's it. We're done.
Done.
We're burning this thing to the ground, so
That's
we don't
right.
have a choice but to go buy a house.
I will somehow hook this thing up to my Jeep, and I don't know, go somewhere, or something. I'll be done at that point. So, we still have to inquire about lot 9.
I was just going to ask you that. Like, have you been?
No, James is like, when you see the lot lord next time, tell him about, because he's working so much, ask him. So I need to go ask him and
that
find
would
out.
help solve some of that problem too. Because if you're under them trees, like the heat wouldn't be so bad, and if the air went out, then Bella and Hollow would be okay for a few hours. It wouldn't like heat up so bad.
Exactly.
But that would solve that problem.
Exactly.
And you'd have a better view.
A different view. I get to see the church. So yeah, it'll be different.
That's do Operation Find Kim a House.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking. So I know Shannon's looking. It's funny. She sent me a house that we already looked at like a month ago. I'm like, wait a minute. I saw that house already. She's like, yeah, they took it off the market and it came back on the market, but they're asking more for it. So I thought it looked familiar. It's over there off of Gaines Avenue.
Yeah.
And I think it's called South River Colony or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. I just yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out at some point. I don't know. Otherwise, maybe I'm moving to Montana or something. I'm not moving to Montana.
No.
I don't know. We'll find something. I'm sure. Just a matter of time. We've talked about even buying a trailer because we could pay for a trailer
right
outright, and then we could James is like, then we can rent it out. I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to be a landlord.
Right, to a trailer. Where would you buy it?
Bridgeway.
Okay.
Hope Sound, because it's not restricted anymore to 55 and plus. So I don't know. And there's some in there. One had a pool, girl.
I had a pool.
Had a pool in the trailer park, girl. Yes, it had a pool.
Like a real pool?
Like a real pool. There's actually 3 in there that have pools. One I saw right on the main street, and then that got bought out. And then there's another one for sale that has a pool. I think they want like $120 for it.
Oh wow, okay.
I mean,
you got a metal roof. And you got a pool.
Done.
That's what you wanted. All right, fine. We take a CBS out of there. It's not CBS, it's vinyl aluminum siding.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I don't even know if it has a skirt or not, but totally brick that sucker in. Permanent.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
No way.
Too funny. So what else is going on with you this week?
I go back to the doctor. That's it.
Okay.
That's a little of my life.
Well, yeah, right. Well, you're still in pain, so
yes.
you're still not going back to work yet.
No.
So
yeah, so that's just about it. I go to the doctor. I think all the kids have been checked out of the doctor. They're good. Poor Jason went to the doctor last Friday, and he's got 3rd-degree burns on his legs from his work boots.
I can't believe that.
Oh my god!
When you sent me that picture about wanting to throw up.
I can't believe he doesn't complain more about it hurting.
I don't, because I don't know. I would think it would be hurting.
It was pretty gnarly, and I was like, I told him, normally I'm not big on an antibiotic. I'm like, you need to take something. Like, you can't, you can't. Like, you cannot. Like, and
no.
So he went and he had some amoxicillin, and he was taking that. And then Thursday, he took his work pants off and took off his dressings to he would let it air out at night.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, his feet were swollen, his legs were swollen. I was like, you have to go to the doctor.
Wow.
So he got in on Friday, and it's a 3rd-degree burn, and he's got to get it cleaned out. Like, the white part's got to come off so the skin can grow, and you got to he has to rub it with a washcloth to get this part off, and then he's got to put this medicine on it that helps break it up even more, and then so the next time then he scrubs more, and I feel so bad for him.
I know. I saw the wound care kit in the bathroom. I was like, gosh, that's seems like a process.
Yeah, and it's been expensive. That stuff's not cheap.
No. And there are nurses that specialize in wound care, and I've met a few, and then there's the wound care center. You have to be a special kind of person to want to clean wounds.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine? Being a nurse and being in healthcare is difficult enough because I just don't have the stomach for that stuff.
No.
But then now to specialize, because people or nurses specialize in wound care. How did you choose that? You have to love
you could be a pimple popper, that kind of thing I could handle, but this stuff,
no way, no way.
I'm gnarly. He'd take it off, and I'm like, that's not normal.
No.
That's why I was like, you have to go to the doctor. So
yes,
and it's all the way around, both legs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he tells people it's his rollerblading.
That sounds, I don't want to say it sounds better, but so he has to just keep the stuff on there, and then they're just going to keep checking.
He goes back next week,
Okay.
this week coming up or whatever, and if it's not any better, then he has to go to the wound care center.
Oh my gosh.
So he's got the wife with arthritis.
You
the husband
broken
with
down.
wound care. Like, we're like, how old are we?
Oh my gosh, you're like, yeah. Like, speaking of how old, you have a birthday coming up.
I do.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. That's what Jason's mom is like, what are you doing for your birthday? I was like, oh, I don't know. I just, in my head, I don't know why I keep thinking it's like May. So I'm like, no, my birthday's like, I'm like, oh God, my birthday's a few days away.
I know.
I didn't even realize it.
I know. It's because life has been happening, and it's just because
like,
we've set back with this whole COVID
thing, and just like everything's just out of whack. Like, Jason said something to me yesterday about the auction coming again in September. I was like, oh, okay, thinking that's such far away.
I know.
I'm like, oh,
it's
that's
really not.
That's like a couple weeks.
I know.
Okay. So, yeah.
Well, you have to let me know what you want to do for your birthday.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of just because with, COVID and all that, it makes it a little difficult to go and actually do anything, But I was going to tell you, there's these things in Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay.
They are, I don't know what you call them. It's like a floating bar.
Okay.
But they're actually like jacuzzis that, like, you know how you go to a tanning bed?
Okay.
They have suites that you can go, and they have it's like salt water, and you can lay in it and float. They're pods.
Okay. By yourself?
Yes. So if you want to do a girls' day,
what the heck is that?
I'll have to show you. It's in Palm Beach Gardens. Apparently, it's a thing. It's becoming a thing. It's called like floating. It's supposed to it's like laying in a jacuzzi and getting your back right. It's like a pod, and there's suites, and there's a shower in there, and you can do like an hour in there. But one thing I'm concerned is when I was looking at the pod, it looks like it comes down on you, like you're enclosed, but maybe you can keep it lifted up.
Okay.
So yeah, we have to go check out these pods. Okay. Just an experience.
Sounds like Cocoon, like the.
It is. It is. It is. Because they had like this 3D thing, and it looked like a salon, like a tanning salon. They have these suites. But I saw it in that famous group. Somebody actually mentioned it. Said, "Hey, are there any of those floating bars around here?" And people were commenting. So I was like, "What is this?" And sure enough, I found one in Palm Beach Gardens, because it's always in Palm Beach Gardens.
And by floating bars, you have cocktails in there?
No, I don't. No. I might be calling it wrong. I actually sent it to Taylor because I was like, "Oh, I totally want to do this." It's called True Rest Float Spa.
Oh, okay.
That's the actual. It's TrueRest.com. And it's quite interesting how you can I think an introductory price of like $60. They have packages. Kind of, it reminds me of how that other place was. Where I got the massage.
Sports massage
from from a friend. Remember our friend's wife, ex-wife?
Oh, yeah.
That place. That was kind of random. I didn't expect her to walk in. The floating bar. So it's called a float bar.
Okay.
So you should avoid tanning and shaving. They have sea salt in there. So if you have any wounds or anything, you don't want to get in there.
When Jason would be lit up.
Jason will not be able to go to the float bar for quite some time. They have all this stuff about when you do your first float and everything. But I got to show you what these look like. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm trying to wear a picture here.
I've got it up on my website here. They have franchises. Maybe we should.
We can buy a franchise.
We can be a. Come on, I'm trying to see if I can actually show it to you. It's got the about. But yeah, so it's something pretty cool. So maybe we'll have to go check that out.
Oh, I see. I got a little video here.
Yeah. So you float in this why spot? Oh, yeah. So we'll have to check it out for sure.
That's crazy.
There's benefits of floating, and they're open to 10 o'clock at night. Isn't that wild?
There's this show on Netflix. You gotta watch it. It's Health You, Unhealth You. I don't know. And it talks about it breaks down different things. One of them's intermittent fasting. Is it true or not?
Is
true?
it Unwill?
Something, right?
Okay, because I saw that one, but I haven't watched it.
We started watching it.
Did you? Last night, James started watching Love Off the Spectrum.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He's dying
Love
laughing.
on the Spectrum.
Love on the Spectrum.
Okay, yeah.
Dying laughing. He, I binge on cheesy stuff. He binged all night last night. He didn't come to bed. I don't even know what time. He was just, oh my God. He was just dying laughing. I couldn't sit there and watch it. I gotta tell you a funny story. So Taylor just texted me. This is life in the camper.
Okay.
This is real life, okay?
Gosh.
She said, when do the dogs need to go out? Okay. She said, please stop locking the door when you leave. I almost got locked out of the trailer with both dogs.
Oh, God.
This is a real life situation. So what happens is, she got locked out 2 weeks ago. Somehow, whatever lock, there's 2 locks on the door.
Right.
With 2 doors. There's 2 locks on the door. The lock that I locked, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't know why I can't get it through my head. When you go out of it then, like if she comes out and she shuts it, it's locked. But see, James had keys made for her, so we have a hiding hole for the, so, you know, but she's like, this is our life, you know? She called me, she's like, I'm locked out! And I'm like, and I was in Stewart.
Oh, good.
Luckily, I was able to come home, but this is life, you know? In the camper. So that's true life. So she's like, you need to stop. I'm like, sorry.
Sorry I kept you safe.
I apologize. Next time I'll just leave the doors unlocked.
Exactly.
And
then
anybody...
you'll text me telling me how you didn't even lock the door.
Exactly. So that's the camper life. But maybe we'll check out that floating bar thing. I call it floating bar. It doesn't really sound. It's a floating spa.
I thought you were trying to sell. I was like, oh, sweet, a bar? Like we going sitting in the water and drinking?
Maybe we could go to Hard Rock for the day.
Maybe we could do that boat thing again. That was fun last year.
Tiki one?
Yeah.
The 2-hour boat ride on the tiki thing? Okay. I saw a sign near Twisted Tuna. They're doing taxi booze cruises.
Yeah, they do them.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know that I'm going to be in my bathing suit yet. I was in my bathing suit yesterday, but it was with family.
Okay. Well, we'll try to figure out something. We'll celebrate somehow, you know?
It's all right. It's not a big one, so.
Well, no, we got another 9 more years till the big one, right?
Exactly.
50. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm. So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week, and hopefully we'll. I was going to try to see if we could get James on, so we could do a little Q&A for the trailer life. But since the week has kind of went to hell real quick, it might not have been a good week, anyways.
Yeah, you can record them, and then we can patch them in.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Very true. Awesome.
Yeah, sorry we weren't nearly as funny as last week. No mimosas flown this morning.
We need to do that. We need to do the mimosas. But I feel so much better when we do it like on a Sunday.
Yes.
Because I feel refreshed.
Yeah, not a Saturday night and a bottle of wine.
Well, we have to like record at the right time. So, you know, we have to maybe do a little recording for if we do a birthday celebration.
That's true.
Yes.
I think my birthday is on a Saturday.
All right, there we go.
Exactly. Live Saturday birthday drop.
Yeah, love it.
Love it.
Yes.
All right,
guys. Thanks.